Here to stay. We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. See your baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
If you're drunk,
Plastic.
intoxicated,
Rip. Plaster.
destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
D in the AM with Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
Draft day. There's a lot of excited young men all over the place. It kind of feels like the most underhyped or least hyped draft in, I don't know, ever. You fired up? We'll get you there. 2 days worth of draft. First day today. You'll get 2 rounds, 2 days. NBA will draft players. And you'll start telling me all you know about these Frenchmen that you might not even be able to pronounce their name. What's up with you boys and girls? Merry Wednesday. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck. How you living?
What it do?
You all right?
All right.
You ready for big draft day?
Yes.
You got it all scoped out? You got your number 1, Alex Sarr slipping to 2, and Zachary, how do you say it, Risacher?
Sounds good.
Is that his name, the Frenchman? Is that Risacher? Is that who do you got going 1? You got Zachary going first?
It looks like it. Because
Sarr won't work out for Atlanta?
Yeah, there's that. And with the Hawks in the market's probably move one of those guards. They're looking to add a future to their backcourt.
So that's what you got. It's always interesting. It almost feels like the pre-draft movement is more interesting because, A, you know more of the players, you know more of the names that are going on in the pre-draft stuff, and B, this, by most reports, is one of the, I don't know, I hate saying it, but I guess that's the word, weakest draft. I don't know if I buy into it. I don't know what to buy into. Ask me in 2 years. We'll find out what sort of a impact Alex Sarr and Zachary Risacher have in the draft. But it sounds like everybody, the scouts are really, really down on this draft.
You can be down on this draft, but
you better make something out of it.
Yeah, it's I have it, and we'll talk about it today. You look at 2013 when Anthony Bennett went number 1 overall. That's his top 5. You're like, oh my gosh, it's terrible. You know who went 14th? Giannis Antetokounmpo. Rudy Gobert went 27.
So if you want to go down to 14, I'm looking at Keyshawn George in Portland.
So you can sit there and say you don't know what this is. There's going to be an all-star or 2 from this draft.
That's probably right.
Like, there's going to be players that become role players in the NBA. There's going to be players that become assets for you. Now, is there one right at the top that you're immediately pointing at and going, no, this guy's going to be awesome? No, this is a draft that's going to take a little while to simmer. And most NBA drafts do. It's a longer process for a lot of these guys.
It feels like the second round is. I don't even know if it's the second round that's more intriguing. I've never seen a draft, and I understand why. Don't get me wrong. This is drama. This is who you know. This is what you know. Where a guy that might get picked 55th in a 58 pick draft, and there are only 58 picks in this draft. Because the 76ers and the Suns have both had draft picks taken away for rules regarding signing players violations. It's almost unfathomable, but it's not because of who it is. That the story of this draft is, will somebody jump in front of the Lakers and take Bronny James before he's there with the 4th to last pick of the draft? Or will the Lakers get Bronny James? Will Rich Paul get his way? Will the Lakers get to do their little family affair? And everything that you said LeBron James was orchestrating over the past X number of months to get his buddy as the coach, to get his son as a teammate come to fruition? And I think the answer is going to be yes by the time we're done with tomorrow night.
Yeah, that's the difference is the draft is a 2-day event now for the NBA. So we'll be looking tomorrow, really afternoon.
Is it tomorrow afternoon? They're not
Yeah.
going to go up against the debate?
No.
What time are they going tomorrow afternoon? Thursday.
Probably like 6 Eastern, something along those lines.
All right, so
5
I mean they're
Eastern.
going to clear the way for president and the former president to go at each other, because that will get. I mean, then nobody watches because nobody's really caring about Tyler Smith and Jamal Shedd and P.J. Hall and Dylan Jones, and although Keyshawn Johnson may get. But yeah, get out of the way. Right, just get out of the way. The big stuff was yesterday, and the Knicks made a move. You believe the Knicks are the second best team in the East now with the Mikal Bridges trade? As we sit here today,
It's the question you bring up is a healthy Milwaukee team with
Right.
Dom and Giannis better, but you know what you're going to get from the Knicks, the type of game that you're going to get from them. Now they have a legit number 2 scorer. Mikal Bridges is their second best offensive player on that team. To give Jalen Brunson some help, it allows Josh Hart, Dante DiVincenzo to be better players because they're not going to be asked to do as much offensively.
they paid a lot for this. And it might all be worth it, and we'll see. Knicks made a trade last night. Mikal Bridges, the former Phoenix Sun, a guy who really was coveted throughout the league. Knicks give up Bojan Bogdanovic, four first-round picks, and a pick swap, right? So the 4 first-round picks are 2025, 27, 29, and 31. That sounds so far out. So 2025 is a protected first-rounder, right, for Milwaukee? Or is this all in addition to the 4 first-round picks? What was the cost of this? As I go through this, I'm not sure I understand the total cost of it. Because, I mean, it was a lot of picks. 4 first-round picks.
It's pretty much almost 5 first-round picks.
5, and with the pick swap, a second
At
round.
you aren't going to use all those picks.
No, you're not. You're not.
Like, this is what you do. And you know what the Knicks have tonight? They still have 2 first-round picks.
Yeah, and the
Like,
Nets have
you
stuff.
so to use your assets to acquire an all-star level player and make a push is what you're supposed to do.
The Nets have something like 16 first-round picks over the next few years. Something crazy.
Yeah, they complete rebuild.
Yeah, the Nets are
Yes.
absolutely yes. All right, so Mikal Bridges was teammates, if you don't recall, at Villanova with Jalen Brunson, Josh Hart, Dante DiVincenzo. They're all reunited now in New York. All we got to do now is sign Jay Wright. Jay Wright to be the coach, right? They won the NCAA title, if you recall, back in 2016, and then most of them, won a second. So the Knicks still want to keep OG Anunoby, who declared for free agency, or is going to declare for free agency. But the ability to re-sign Isaiah Hartenstein becomes a lot more difficult now. So they're loading up on wings, and would you tell me they got 2 picks in tonight's draft?
Yeah, they have 24 and 25.
So they probably look big at that point, right? If you're telling me they're loading up on the wings and they're 24-25, I mean, I don't know. The mock I'm looking at says Kyle Filipowski, 6'11", how to do, and then another wing, Isaiah Collier out of USC. All right, we'll watch it. If you're into the draft, let's go. 505-246-0610. What do you make of the Rockets and this whole Kevin Durant noise? And they want to find a way to make a trade for Kevin Durant.
I think they're trying to get Phoenix antsy, but Matt Ishbia, the owner of the Suns, I think he's pretty locked in of going, we're doing this one more time. It's Devin Booker, Kevin Durant, Bradley Beal, and they're going to make it work.
One way or another, or we'll fire another coach and find another one. Until we can find a coach who can make this work. Because I put together these three superstars, and it's got to work. Area code 505-246-0610. That's how to get here today. 505-246-0610. That's the phone line and the text line here at The Sports Animal. Emails are coming in this morning, Jeff at sportsanimалabq.com, JJ at sportsanimалabq.com. On the X, it's _JJ Buck. Facebook, the OD in the AM. Adrian is producing for us on the video side. You can watch the show on our Facebook page. You can watch the show on Comcast. Channel 26, you can watch it on the YouTube channel for ProView Network. All right, so we'll get into the NBA. We'll go through it as we go. When we come back, don't look now. Your Albuquerque Ice Chills are in first place. How can that possibly be, Jeff? They had the worst season ever. Yeah, but they're in first place. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, The Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
What's going on? Who are you guys?
Well, sir, I'm going to pick you up at the DWI checkpoint for drunk driving.
And that's when I have to come down to get you out of jail.
Well, temporarily. I'm Judge Torres. They call him the Hammer. Hey, hot off the presses, champ.
I'm real proud of you, honey.
Way to make them happy back home, Captain. Who's that? That's your new buddy in jail.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman!
This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Boom! Boom!
These days, it's important to know people and businesses you can trust. There's a lot of places where you can buy a vehicle, but there's only a few local dealerships where you'll find honest people who have your best interests in mind. And Fiesta Kia is one of them. We've been helping our neighbors save money and drive dependable cars for years, and we'd love to help you. With new Kias arriving daily, you'll love our selection and the peace of mind you'll get driving a Kia from Fiesta. So stop by and see us today at Fiesta Kia on Lomas, or just start driving now at fiestakia.com.
injury takes place in the United States approximately every 15 seconds. International Protective Service is your answer for commercial and residential security in all of Albuquerque. IPS will work with your monitoring company for fast, reliable response times. You can rest easy knowing you, your family, or your company is watched over by International Protective Service. Call International Protective Service today.
Right? Albuquerque lost 12 of its first 14 games. After Sunday, they were 26-49, 23 games out of first place. It's going to be a long, long summer. And then you're telling me this morning they're in first place? What the hell are you talking about? It's the opening drive, Jeff Sibbieta and J.J. Buck. See, yesterday was a clean start. Yesterday, they got to wipe the slate clean. Yesterday started the second half of the season for your Albuquerque Ice. And JJ, after 3 months at the bottom of the Pacific Coast League standing, Topes got a win last night over the Salt Lake Bees and are 1-0 in the second half. That's right, your first place Albuquerque Ice. Come on now.
They're a second half team. We knew it all season long. That's why there was no panic for me.
None.
Early in the year.
That's right. That's right. Whatever that means. I guess I didn't know this. Albuquerque finished 5 games back of 9th place El Paso. They tied AA Chattanooga for the most losses among every minor league club in baseball. There's 120 of them. It was the worst first half in Isotope's history. 1 game worse than when? Last year. It was rough. So Pedro Lopez has them refocused and turned around. And remember, last year they made a run at the second half battle. So the winner of the first half, Sugarland, will play the winner of the second half, whoever that happens to be. Your Isotopes playoff, and you get a fresh start and a fresh run, and your club is in first place, boys and girls, as you go through it, and or at least as you start now. And you get Duke's night coming up on Saturday night at the ballpark. You got all the stuff going on. Yeah, first place, huh? Now, if only the Rockies could get a fresh start. If only they would do that in the big leagues for you and take your big club out of last place. If you told me the Rockies were 7 games out on opening day, right?
Yeah, before they even threw first pitch of the season.
If only they would let the Rockies do that, they wouldn't be 22 games back. Yeah. All right, 505-246-0610. You got a draft tonight. We got all the football stuff going on. Lenny, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. What's good, Lenny?
Well, the Knicks overpaying for Mikal Bridges, so this makes the Gobert trade look a lot better.
Well, if you get the results that you're looking for, are you going to feel like they overpaid? I mean, if they can get by Boston?
No, I mean, I understand, but Bridges is good, and the Knicks went for a player that fits the Tom Thibodeau mold. He hasn't missed a game since high school. He'll give you 40, 48 minutes a night without a complaint, and he's another Villanova guy, so I understand it from that. But you gave up 4 unprotected number ones, a number 1 next year that's protected from Milwaukee, and a pick swap, unprotected.
That's a lot. I mean, it's absolutely, and a player.
For a player... And I like Mikal Bridges, but for a player that's not an A-list superstar.
Oh, that's not untrue. Now, to JJ's point, they had a ton of assets and weren't going to be able to use them all. Now, could they have used them in other ways?
And also in the prior drafts, if you go over the past 8-10 years, they've really struck out on number 1 picks.
Yeah, what's their best number 1 pick over the last bunch of years?
I don't know, maybe R.J. Barrett.
Probably, right? They had Porzingis.
You know, and quickly, and they're gone. So now, if the Knicks don't sign Anunoby, then their offseason still is going to end up as a bust.
So, do you think they could have gotten him for less?
Yeah, I do. I think they wanted him so bad, and the Nets knew they wanted him so bad to play with his other teammates from Villanova that they forced the Knicks' hands, and the Knicks caved.
Maybe.
But, we'll see. And then, do they make a trade tonight? Because they don't need Mitchell Robinson and Hartenstein. So they're going to have to sign one or the other. So I can conceive them conceivably trading all 3 picks tonight and moving up in the draft, or trading their 2 first-rounders moving up and trying going after Zach Edey if he falls past 15.
I think Zach Edey's one. Why? Because, they need a big, obviously, with
they need a big, and if they keep Hartenstein
I don't think
and trade Robinson, then Edey can come off the bench and give him just some defense that Robinson gives him. Not as good, but, 7'4", 300 pounds, he's still going to get his rebounds in position. And then they're still going to be able to play 4 out around the perimeter.
And that's obviously what's on typical.
And then I wouldn't be surprised if San Antonio trades up to number 1 tonight.
Really?
Well, they're at number 4. So, and they have 4 and 8.
So they get another Frenchman to go with Wemby?
Trade up to 1, or they take, if Klingon falls to 4, they take him at 4.
Klingon could
to have a center to go with Wembanyama.
All right. No, we'll talk about it. Appreciate you, man. I thought we'd hear from you today on the Knicks. You think they go for a center? I mean, they got Wembanyama at 7'5". They want Klingon, or they want somebody like, I don't know, Stephon Castle?
Well, Wemby's not a true center. Like, he's a piece you can play everywhere. So if you can get a Klingon beside him, I think that's good, because you can take some of the wear and tear off Wembanyama.
Don't they need? I mean, they need it.
Right? They need
it.
1 through 5 outside of Wembanyama.
I mean, they need everything. I would like to see them get a dynamic.
So for them, they can, even if they stay at 4 and 8, they can go best player available, and that's really the key with the NBA draft. At this point in the lottery, take the best player available. You don't draft for need in the top 5. You draft best player that's there.
Are the Spurs in the position to make the biggest move in the West next year? I'm not saying to the top, but I mean the biggest jump from where they are currently to where they might be next year.
It's all dependent on the kind of players they can put around Wembanyama.
And that's what this is about today, right? And if you're them, you're thinking, gosh, I wish this was another draft. We have 4 and 8, and we could really get some players. But to your point, there's going to be players here.
Yeah, there's going to be dudes in this draft that pop. Like, right now, it's easy. Like, oh, there's no superstars.
Because you don't know who these guys are.
Like, someone's going to do their job and find a really good player. Whether it becomes an all-star or not, there's going to be assets. And that's why I know Lenny's been on it forever. And if you trade multiple first-round picks, like, he thinks it's a terrible trade. It goes back to Rudy Gobert. Now I'm like, well okay. I get the Timberwolves weren't in the NBA Finals, but it's a team that made a jump to the Western Conference Finals. They got the player that you know is going to be your second best offensive player, a player, Mikal Bridges, by the way, that was the only player last year in the top 10 that guarded the opponent's best defender the majority of the time and scored 15-plus points per game.
Do you think they overpaid?
No.
So it's
because it's at some point in time you can't use 8 draft picks.
But
now I get you say
you've used them in another trade.
At this point, who the Suns aren't trading Booker or Durant.
Yeah.
The other, like Paul George is a free agent. You look around, Donovan Mitchell looks like he is going to re-sign his max deal in Cleveland. I know they flirted with that, but I don't think Mitchell is the dude you want on this roster anyway right now, to have Brunson and Mitchell, just 2 really small dudes in the backcourt.
Okay.
Like, find me that star right now.
I guess what I'm saying is, with what was it, 5 firsts, a second, and a player, could you have gotten away with, I don't know, 3 firsts and a second? Would you have got the same result?
If it gets the deal done, and do it. Like he said, they still have 2 picks tonight. They can move as assets. In this league, trading multiple first-round picks, you can get them back, because the Nets are all of a sudden realizing, you know what? Yeah, we're not good. And you can go back and recoup those assets.
And the Nets have somebody tell me 16 picks over the next couple of drafts in the first round.
So move it. If you have the ability to get an impactful player, Mikal Bridges is an impactful player. Do it.
Well, they did.
Because sitting on draft picks, because then you could come into a draft like this and go, well, what's the point? We saved up all these picks, and it's this draft where there's not a superstar.
Yeah, and there you are, San Antonio, right? And look, I think Pop will make the most out of it, and they'll draft somebody. I promise they'll draft a European that you haven't heard of, right? Whether it's this Salon guy out of France or whoever. And again, I'm not going to sit here and pretend to be Fran Fraschilla, right? He knows all these international guys. But all I know is I'm watching around this league, man, and there's a bunch of international guys who are pretty damn good. And when Luka Doncic or Doncic or Don, whatever the guy's name was drafted, remember? The Doncic, who the hell was
at this point in time, if like you're someone that's saying that, you haven't watched the NBA for 15 years.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think Nikola Jokic is pretty good. Luka Doncic is pretty good. Victor Wembanyama is pretty good. These guys that came from overseas that didn't go to Villanova. Although I think if you're going to be a Knick, you have to go to Villanova. But everybody
the Nova Knicks.
Yeah. But
now it could be interesting if we get the San Antonio Huskies.
You think there's more coming there?
Clingan and Castle.
Yeah, and they could.
Really interesting for them.
And they really could. Right? I mean, I see a projection where Castle is going to them at 4 and Clingan goes right before them at 7 to Portland. You know, they could get 2 UConn Huskies there. And I think that's feasible as well. All right, 505-246-0610. Big trade yesterday in the NBA. Do we see more as we go through it? And, you know, what is it you're looking for tonight? Or are you just looking for everything on Thursday night so you can sit there and watch the second round of the draft and then you can sit around and watch the debate? You guys, are you going to watch the debate? You don't have to get political.
No.
You're really not.
I'll probably see some stuff. No,
You're not interested in that?
I'm going to do my Thursday night stuff.
All right.
I'll just sit there and watch dudes talking to muted microphones thinking they're still on.
I am. I fly absolutely. Like I'll watch dudes.
Like it's just pure entertainment at this point.
Yes.
I understand that.
Oh, 100%. It's pure entertainment. Yeah. I'm watching that. I can go to the gym early. You know what I'm saying? Or I can go get it. You know what I did yesterday? Don't tell anybody. I got out a little early. I got in a quick 18.
There you go.
Late yesterday. Yeah. I didn't play well, but I did get a quick 18. 505-246-0610. Hey, if you have been the victim of a home or business break-in, you know way too well it takes hours, if not days, for police to respond. They just don't have enough officers to cover all the calls that they get for service. But when it's your home, when it's your business, you need a much quicker response. So how about 7 minutes or less? That's normally the response time for customers of International Protective Service, IPS. IPS has officers strategically placed around Albuquerque, and now they're up in Santa Fe as well, so they react quickly. Many times they catch the criminals in the act. They detain them, and they call the police to come pick up the bad guys. IPS also provides standing guards if you need eyes on your property around the clock. They install alarms and camera systems and have a state-of-the-art facility to monitor those cameras 24/7. It raises the level of security around your home or your business. So who's watching your home when you're away on summer vacation? Making sure it's the good guys and not the bad guys. A quick response to your alarm or standing guards at your business is what IPS does, and you sleep better at night. Look, you can't prevent all the crime, but if you've got no protection, you're more likely to be victimized. Call IPS. Protect yourself. I have for years. I think you'll like it as well. 505-897-2420 is the number. 505-897-2420. They're online at ipsglobal.com. IPS is passionate about making Albuquerque and Santa Fe better and safer places to live and work.
This report is sponsored by...
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
You make my heart better. Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Like this, shorty, you got my attention. your baby, I give you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready!
My coach. My teacher. My older sisters. My grandma. My brother. My tutor. My dad and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
Bring it back.
95.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal. What's going on? Today is the last day of your opportunity to get out and help with the fire victims. Ruidoso, Lincoln County. We here at the Sports Animal, our Cumulus radio station, along with UNM Athletics, are collecting donations out at University Stadium. And if you can help, we say thank you. They'll be out there today, 9 to 11, 7:30 right now. So 9 to 11 today, 4 to 6 in the afternoon. It is Stadium West parking lot at University Stadium. That is the west side of University Stadium on the southeast corner of University and Avenida Cesar Chavez. If you can help, they need things like toiletries, right? Whatever you imagine, if you were in this situation, what would you need to get by for a few weeks? So toiletries, toothpaste, toothbrush, deodorant, those sorts of things. Paper towels, toilet paper, soaps, shampoos, cleaning supplies, canned goods, water. You can help. We appreciate you. The Sports Animal and Lobo UNM Athletics say thank you for helping out. You know, they got fires are 60-something% contained. The one of them and 50% in that area, but man, it's going to be a long time for people down to recover and get back on their feet. And whatever you can do to help, I know it's going to be appreciated. So we say thank you. I guess the response has been really good out there too. They're filling up that semi. Really good. All right, you got the draft tonight. Do you expect a lot of trades today?
I think there'll be plenty of pick movement. I'm not sure what we see player-wise.
Okay, that's fair. The big side of this thing has been the Bronny stuff. JJ, I've heard a lot on people, if you evaluate Bronny higher, do you take it? Well, you don't want to upset Rich Paul. Well, bleep Rich Paul. I mean, Rich Paul's his agent. Well, he's powerful. Well, would Rich Paul really not send a client to pick your team if he wouldn't negotiate with you if it was in the best interest of one of his clients, if your team happened to get in the way and pick Bronny? Bronny James, according to Rich Paul, says, I just want to hear my name. Well, that's not how they're acting, right? I mean, obviously, they want to hear it from the Lakers, period. He's not worked out for anybody else. But if you're, I don't know, pick your team. I don't care who it is. And if you want to go down the list and Celtics are right before him, if this was the days, the Danny Ainge Celtics days, do you think Danny Ainge would have just taken him right before just to stick it to the Lakers? Don't you think?
I think that would have been possible. Absolutely. Yeah. I think now though it's
just not Brad Stevens.
It's not Brad Stevens, and if you're doing that as a franchise, because they have made it clear what they want to do with Bronny. And I don't think Bronny is good enough to where I want to just make that mess for my franchise, drafting him at 52 or 50 just because.
So therein lies the issue. Is he good? Right? If you're Washington at 51, you're the Warriors at 52. You're the
I think
Pistons
part of the reason that they're acting this way is they know that if his name was, and we've done this plenty of times, right, Bronny Buck, he'd be undrafted.
Bronny? Is your next kid going to name Bronny?
No.
LeBron?
LeBron James?
LeBron Buck?
No,
I
don't think.
Name. Bronny Buck? Bronny Buck's all right.
Not too bad.
But he's just not that good, right? I mean, if he was
like
that
he
good,
would
he would
be
slip.
And so this is why I think they're acting very specifically, because they know he's already a fringe prospect. 58 picks, even in a weak draft, and you're not guaranteed in that top 58. I think there's a reason they're acting this way. And the whole, well, of course you're going to sign. No, because you know what? He's LeBron James' son. Yeah, he wants to be a professional basketball player, but he doesn't need that contract right now. Like he's not desperate to just go sign a two-way deal with anyone.
But if he got drafted by, let's just say the Wizards took him at 50, you tell me he might not sign?
I think that's entirely possible.
What would he do?
Because he won't sign unless he gets a guaranteed second-round deal. Guaranteed money.
All right, so, and if he doesn't, he's LeBron James' kid, he doesn't need money? He's going to go play overseas? He's going to go, what? What's he going to do? I mean, he's not just going to sit around and live at daddy's house forever and live off, I mean...
If he was going to do something, he would have told Rich Paul to back off and let me go do it and see if I can do it. But they didn't. And they're going to position to where the Lakers draft him.
Okay, but they've got a what-if plan, right? What if someone steps in? Right? They have to, don't they? You got
a what-if plan is he's not signing.
Okay, and that might be it. And so he does what? He goes plays in Europe. He hangs out on the couch. What? He can't go back and play college ball.
Then you get the scenario that everyone's looking for is the Lakers are forced to trade an asset to acquire the rights to Bronny James.
And that would be the main reason why Washington, Detroit, somebody would step in and pick, right?
But I don't even know if it's worth it.
I think you're right.
Like just say, oh, here's a 2028 second round pick. Okay, well, we got it, but
I think you're right. Just to make the noise and just do the look, it would be a total flex, wouldn't it? So look what we did. We stepped.
Maybe
in.
It would be worth it for the Wizards. Talking about the Wizards.
Well, the franchise with nothing to lose. I mean, I look at it, all right, they're projected, the one I'm looking at, and again, this won't happen, but you get a player like A.J. Mitchell out of Santa Barbara, a 6'3" guard who can score. All right? Or you get Bronny James, and in your words, and you're not wrong, hold him ransom and see what it's worth to you. Piss off LeBron, piss off Rich Paul. The rest of the league is probably laughing, right? Everybody's sitting back in their draft room chuckling like, oh, did you damn? You see what they just did? Right? I mean, that's what that move is, right? Everybody's
Absolutely.
just going, okay. They win the draft. They steal the draft. Everybody's talking about you. Nobody, Washington. Only you can name me 3 Washington Wizards. Nobody else can. Right? And people who live in Washington. And so, they stole the draft. Look at, is it worth it? Like when you win the press conference. Okay, great. But you're still the Washington Wizards. I agree with you, dude. I don't think it's worth it. But I don't think like everybody, nor do you. And there's got to be a rogue young GM out there thinking, you know what? Screw it. Let's just go out and make some noise. I mean, whatever. Yeah, A.J. Mitchell or Melvin Ajinka, or they're nice players. But you know what, dude? If we draft Bronny, then we'll turn around with the Lakers and we'll ask for a second and this dude. Whatever. Whatever somebody's sitting there thinking. Because people think, look, they need a look at me moment, right? You know that. And this would be the ultimate look at me moment. Look at the stones on that guy. And you can call them stones or you can call it just idiocy. There's a part of me that thinks somebody's going to do it. We won't know till tomorrow because there's no way somebody's going to do it in the first round, right? There's no way he goes to me, right? Okay, there is a way?
There's not a way.
Okay. I thought that,
the only way is
this
is Bronny James, and if we draft in the first round, we'll get a first-round pick back from the Lakers. But what's other than the headline?
What do the Lakers have to give, dude? It's not like they're the Nets and just loaded up with a million first-round picks.
Which is why I don't want to do that. Yeah. Like you're doing it just to do it.
You and me are the same, dude. You and me are the same. We don't. It's not worth it to me. I don't need the look at me moment. I don't need it.
And I'm trying to. You take a step back too and think of, are there any crazy owners in the NBA?
Aren't
Matt
there?
Ishba. But guess what?
You didn't have any picks?
No, the Suns were a team they might actually be okay with Bronny going to.
Yeah, no, that's right. But do they have any picks? Like literally,
they could buy one.
I mean, I guess
in the second round.
I don't see the Suns having a pick in the second round. But yeah, I guess you could always go get one. I mean, the Pacers have 2 back-to-back at 49 and 50. Now, that's a pretty conservative organization, right? I can't see that being a Rick Carlisle, who's their coach, and I don't even know who their ownership is, but I can't see it being their type of move. But I can see Washington. I can see Detroit doing it. Hell, would the Clippers do it at 46?
It's not at this point. I look at those things, and it's not. You never say never in sport. You never do that. And could a team tomorrow just be like, you know what? Let's just have some fun.
Yeah, 100%.
Yes, it could happen.
I could see just whether there's people who don't like the Lakers or people who need a look at me moment. You know, I'm the Wizards, I'm the Pistons, or the Clippers. Watch this on the way out the door, man. We're getting our own dome. We're getting our own place. And out the door, watch what we do to our rivals. Watch this. You want to shake up this town? And you can see Steve Ballmer back there shaking and laughing in the warm. I'm not telling you. My bet would be he goes to the Lakers with 55, just like everybody else is saying. But, look, man, people think differently. People in these positions think differently. I can see someone just saying, you know what, watch this. Let's just shake this whole thing. Let's just make a move. Let's piss everybody. All right, 505-246-0610. That's how to get here today. 505-246-0610. You had a little fun in baseball last night. Manny Machado hit a revenge home run. They had a little bench clearing dust up last night in San Diego against one of his former teams. Shohei Ohtani set another mark yesterday as well. The baseball's popping as well. Opening drive, 505-246-0610 on 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Hour.
This report
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, rip, plastered, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, rip, plastered, Destroyed, brah. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
Weekdays from 4 till 7 on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
A little baseball going on. It's the time of the year. Maybe you catch a little baseball, watching what's going on. Padres and Nationals last night. Who do they got a rivalry? First inning of Tuesday's Padres National game. Little chaos opening drive. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck. First inning, you had a home plate dust up, a hit by a pitch, a manager ejection, and then a 2-run home run. It started in the first. Nationals catcher Keibert Ruiz appeared to physically confront Jurickson Profar before Profar's bat, like just got in his face. So the night before, Profar made a gesture towards the Washington dugout after he hit his walk-off home run. And they don't forget about that kind of stuff, boys and girls. And so the bench is cleared following Ruiz and Profar's little exchange. And that was last night and resumed shortly after. And the next pitch, what do you think happened? Washington's left-handed pitcher, Mackenzie Gore, hit Profar's foot with a 98-mile-an-hour fastball. Was not ejected. So Padres manager Mike Shildt, you got to be very careful, came onto the field, argued with the umpire. He was ejected. This is all the first inning. And then Manny Machado stepped up to the plate and went yard on the first pitch he saw from Gore. 2-run home run. That was the first inning. It was really cool. Padres broadcaster Dan Orsillo. This was his call. He says, quote, Manny Machado, see if he can make them pay. High ride, deep left field, Winker back at the wall. Take that, says Manny Machado. Profar's fired up, and he should be. They hit him intentionally. And then Manny hits one out of the yard intentionally, and the Padres take a 2-0 lead. How about them apples? Well, that was all the first inning, boys and girls. See, who says baseball's boring?
I need something to get you going on a Tuesday.
I imagine so. And, Manny, Machado's just sheer entertainment. A lot of people do not like Manny Machado, but he is sheer entertainment. And why are the Padres not good?
It's the case of money doesn't always buy you wins.
I mean, they spend money, dude. They spend money. They're 8.5 games back. Now, they are, what are there, 3 wild card teams? So they are in possession of the final wild card right now, a game and a half better than Diamondbacks and the Mets. But here come the Mets. And the Mets are red hot. Odds on, if you had to place a bet right now, 50-50, straight, even money. Will the Padres make the playoffs as well?
No.
They will not. Who will the wild card team?
I just don't trust the Padres.
I don't know if I trust the Padres. I don't know if I trust the Cardinals right now, but the Cardinals always seem to get hot down the stretch. I mean, it kind of feels like Arizona and the Mets to me. They're going to jump up and join the Braves.
And the Mets one is wild.
Mets are
what they were going through, and then the streak that they've been able to get on over the last couple of weeks.
Mets are 8-2 over their last 10. Actually, their streak is bonkers. What is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 out of their last 12. Yeah, they beat Garrett Cole last night. They rocked him last night. 9-7 was the number. But they just took 2 out of 3 for the Cubs. They took 2 out of 3 for the Rangers. They swept the Padres. 2 out of 3 for the Marlins. The Mets all of a sudden have found it, and they were horrible. But they're playing well. Yeah, look, baseball's kind of, there's stories every night. Shohei Ohtani had an RBI for his 9th straight game. I think that's a Dodger record. Dodgers are 50-31. And they're without Mookie Betts. Right? Like, they just don't miss a beat.
Yeah, it's nice.
Sometimes money can buy it for you.
Yes. When you buy the right players.
And
also, the Dodgers, they do a nice job supplementing around those guys.
which is crazy. And they go and get guys back. Your point on that is so right. The Dodgers just go out and find us, right? And like the way they got Kike Hernandez back, he was a key part for a long time. He left. They realized, wow, we'd like him back. Where they found guys like where Andy Pages come.
He was a prospect,
so that he came through the system. Mm-hmm. I mean, he's done really well for him. Then they go out and they find guys like Jason Hayward. Teoscar Hernandez has been terrific. Where did he come from?
He's a free agent signing.
Who was he before?
He was with the Blue Jays.
He's been just terrific for him. Gavin Lux has developed into what they were hoping he was going to be. When they got Craig Biggio's kid.
Yeah, so Hernandez, I think it was Blue Jays in Seattle, and then they made the trade for Biggio, which fits that role of just utility guy,
filling everything
coming off the bench.
They got guys. That's what always amazed me about them too. Like watching Chris Taylor, right? He'll start the game at center field and end up at second base. Then they move Mookie Betts from right to center and Hayward over to right. They just move guys around. It's almost like a little league. You know what I mean?
And they've been successful doing that with their bench.
Dave Roberts has been a terrific. Does he have to win another one, though? He does, right? Doesn't he? With that, they're the Braves of the 90s. They win a ton of divisional flags, and that's wonderful. And then they hit the postseason. By the way, Clayton Kershaw had a big setback this week. He was at Rancho Cucamonga at single A, had tenderness in his shoulder, and they shut him down for a few weeks. The MRI showed no more damage, but then we may have seen the last of Clayton Kershaw is a key cog, don't you think? Because who's undefeated? Getting to some NFL when we get back. 505-246-0610. Camps are going to open here very, very soon. Dolphins not making the next biggest. What does that mean? It's the opening drive. Jeff, JJ, 95.9 FM and AM 610 East Sports Channel.
Get ready to
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep. All your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Mirror here. And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Try this shit better than all my intentions. Like this shorty, you got my attention. See your baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Boom! Boom!
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready!
My coach. My teacher. My older sisters. My grandma. My brother. My tutor. My dad and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
OD in the AM with 3-time New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
Draft starts today in the NBA. Who do you like? What do you like? There was a big trade last night. The Knicks gave up a lot. Got the guy they wanted. Mikal Bridges comes over from the Brooklyn Nets. Does that make them the second best team in the East? Rockets might be in attack mode. They looking to get picks back. Brooklyn's got to deal with the Rockets to return the Nets' 2026 first-round pick. And are they targeting Kevin Durant? And should the Suns trade Kevin Durant? They won't. I don't believe it. It's the opening. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck. Then there's the NFL, JJ. The Dolphins seem pretty intent on not resetting the market when it comes to Tua Tagovailoa. Omar Kelly of the Miami Herald and was talking about this and said Jeff Darlington of ESPN seemed a little pessimistic, both these guys, that the Tua deal will get done at market price. It said, long said that Dolphins are dug into their position that they will not pay Tua a Goff-esque contract. All right, we talk about Dak all the time. We talk about Brock Purdy. We talk about all these other dudes, dude. And the numbers Tua Tagovailoa put up last year were pretty good. Where's he?
He threw for more yards than any of those guys.
Right?
Led the NFL in passing.
Right? So,
but I think we all can use our eyes and understand that this isn't, Patrick Mahomes and, oh no, Tyreek Hill's gone. What's going to happen? Like, no, this is Tua needs Tyreek Hill. Tua needs Jalen Waddle.
Well, he's got them.
Good.
They're both signed.
But not great. And Miami is doing what all these teams should do, is their business. And if you negotiate and you can't come to a point, we'll move on. You don't have to pay a dude just because. You don't have to give a guy $55 million, $60 million just because he's the next one.
So how much are you giving him?
It sounds like they're probably in the $45 to $50 million range, which is a lot of money. Yes, everyone, I understand, but this is a different world when we're talking about negotiations and contracts. And kind of Tua sitting there going, man, I orchestrated an offense that was explosive. I get the football where it needs to be. I'm accurate. Led the league in passing. Miami's like, well, you don't have that ceiling, dude. And for us to be successful, we can't make you the highest paid quarterback in the league.
Tua Tagovailoa led the NFL in yards last year. 4,624 yards. It was about 50 yards more than Jerry. 29 touchdowns, 14 interceptions. Ratio's a little thick on the interception. He had an offense that was cooking. To your point, he's got two dynamic receivers. JJ, I think one of the things none of us can get out of our minds is the year prior. Is him getting thrown around like a rag doll laying on the field, the concussion. That Monday night, I think it was in Cincinnati, right? Laying on that logo.
That's not even on my mind.
See, I can't get it out of mine.
Mine is, can you beat Josh Allen or win a playoff game on the road?
Hell, can you beat Josh Allen and win your final regular season game at home so you don't have to go on the road and freeze your ass off in the first round of the playoffs? And that would have been the key, right? Now everybody's got their, well, if you win this game, if you win this game, if you win this, unless you're Patrick Mahomes, right? Well, if you'd have beat him, or if you're everybody's got that, because unless you win it all, everybody's had Lamar Jackson's got it, right? If you could beat Patrick Mahomes, right? I agree with you. I got eyes too, and if I pay you $40 to $45 million a year, that's pretty handsome. That's pretty good geld. I understand it's not at the top of the quarterback market. And I understand that Jared Goff and Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes and Jordan Love are all going to get, and Trevor Lawrence are going to get more money than you, and Trevor Lawrence was the 10th leading passer. I understand that Lamar Jackson, who, by the way, was the 15th leading passer in the league and MVP, is making more money. And that Dak Prescott's going to get more. But I don't think anybody else is going to go break the bank for Tua Tagovailoa. So let's play the Dak scenario with him, because you and I firmly both believe that if Dak Prescott does not get re-signed with the Cowboys, somebody's going to sign him next year, and he's going to make in the area of $60 million. Whether you think he's worth it or not, that's going to be what market. So if Tua Tagovailoa doesn't sign with the Dolphins, and he goes free agent whenever he's up, what's his worth on the market? Your Seattle next year, is Tua up after this year? Let's pretend they are. You're Seattle next year, and Geno's done, and you're not convinced Sam Howell's your guy. So you're on the market, and I got Dak and I got Tua, and let's just say it all played out again this year, and Tua threw for more yards and well, not more touchdowns than Dak. Who do you want? Who's your first pick, Dak or Tua?
Dak.
I think that's right. What's the difference in what you're willing to offer both of them? It's somewhat significant, isn't it?
So Tua is heading into the final year of his rookie contract. So this is your
rookie contract. So it's final year of his contract. So he's relatively in the same place as Dak is, although he just hasn't made as much money as Dak previously. Right? But he's up for a contract. So he's on the market next year. You're Pittsburgh, you're Seattle, you're the Raiders, whoever it is, all these teams are going to be in the market for a quarterback. Dak or Tua? Who you want? You want Dak. But what's the difference in price next year on the market? What's different? If they were, let's back it up to now. If they were both on the market today, would one be demanding 60 and one getting 45?
Well, I think they would both be demanding 60.
They'd both be asking for it.
And that what the Dolphins are doing was what I've been screaming about. Is you don't have to make the next contract the biggest. There's a reason that there's a players association and agents, and there's front offices to have negotiations. And if you can't come to an agreement, then that's when you move on, or you trade someone, or you become a free agent. I think with Tua, he is a good quarterback. The accuracy matters within that offense, but I think he is a guy that when you start kind of putting the tiers of quarterbacks together, you see that I don't know if Tua can go in to Pittsburgh and elevate that offense. They're not good enough.
Okay.
Like Tua now, if you're looking at, say, a team like Seattle, I think that's fascinating then, because you'd go in and all right, you have DK Metcalf, Jackson Smith, and Jigba. Good players. I think
Tyler
Tua
Lockett's
can
still there, right?
Yeah, Tyler Lockett's on the back end. And these are the conversations you have, and I think Miami realizes that going, we respect Tua. What he did last year was really good. But for that team to continue to be successful, Tua can't be a $60 million quarterback and them able to have Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle.
Because they paid both. And that's why Tua can't get that. You've paid both of your receivers. I think Waddle just got 28 plus a year, and Tyreek Hill.
And Tyreek is going to get another bump of just guarantees so he can finish out his prime years of this contract in Miami. And these are the questions not the questions. These are the things that you have to address as franchises. And I know people are saying, well, you look at Justin Herbert or Trevor Lawrence, and they haven't done anything, and they got a big payday, which is correct. But I think when you look at those guys, there's a different level of belief going, you think a Trevor Lawrence, you think a Justin Herbert has enough talent to elevate, as opposed to Tua, which you put him in a league average offense. I think at any quarterback it's going to be a struggle, but there's those tiers of guys that do you think that they can themselves elevate this offense or built around them?
See, I agree with you. You've said a number of times, and I agree with this as well. You get a good quarterback, you better hold on. And you and I both think Tua is a good quarterback. I've been much more, I don't know, concerned, adamant, whatever the word is. I always worry about the limits on this, how much you pay it. First of all, I don't think they're in a position where they can pay what in the $60 million. When you've paid two receivers what you paid him, you pay your quarterback what he wants. You got minimums everywhere. And you're not going to be very good.
Not necessarily.
Well, in a lot of key places. How are you starting then to go pay your edge rusher, your best corner?
But I'd look at Philadelphia. And
that's
where I.
What's Jalen Hurts at?
$51 million per year.
All right, and it almost seems like
$225 million overall.
And then they paid Brown and Smith. The two receivers.
So that would be a model that I would be looking at.
If you think he's your guy,
sliding Tua into that
51,
that area.
Okay. See, you've said very often if you got a good quarterback, you don't.
But even I'm not overpaying. I'm not resetting the market just for a good quarterback.
No, hell no. So would you reset the market for Dak?
I wouldn't reset the market for
Dak.
I
wouldn't either. Right? Are they on the same level, Dak and Tua? I mean, because I kind of think they are. I mean, if you're going to tell me there's the Mahomes level and then the next level is whatever your order is Burrow and Josh Allen and Lamar and whoever else you want to put. I don't know who you want to put up, right? I mean, maybe you put Brock Purdy in there. At some point, you better put him up there. I don't know where you have Aaron Rodgers. Justin Herbert, I know, is on that level for most people, even though he hasn't won anything. What is he? Dak and Tua, tier 4 guys, and they're going to make $60 million a year. And that's the market, boys. I don't think Tua is that guy. Like, I would offer him, to your point, in that area, $45 million. Jeff, that's insane. Yeah, it's a lot of money. They live on the same planet. They live in a different world. This is how it is. Same planet, different world. But $45 million, $48 million to keep Tua around with those two receivers, and I'd run those contracts concurrent. You know what I mean? And then it fits under the cap. Then you can afford all that, and you can go out and get yourself a quarterback. Because at some point, everybody's going to want that, right? If they win or if they don't win, it doesn't matter. Everybody wants to get paid. At some point, you're going to have to pay. Hell, A-Chain's going to be good, and you're going to start looking on the defensive side. And you're going to say, how am I paying Calais Campbell?
You're not paying him. Well, Calais Campbell's 38 years old.
Right. Who are you paying, right? You got to keep that on. You got to stop something. You can't score 70 every week. Just one week.
Well, that's why this is a difficult job, and why the NFL draft has become what it is.
Yeah.
Because that's how you win. Is you find guys for 2 to 4 years, from rounds 1 through whatever, undrafted, that complement your roster, and then you find your franchise cornerstones.
And when we come back, another day, another new chapter in the saga of Brandon Ayuk's contract situation with the Niners. I don't know how this is going to play out now, but it's getting a little sour, and it's getting a little bit of drama every single day for an organization who doesn't seem to like the drama. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Center.
This report is sponsored by KF.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit HansWhitlerAuto.com.
Hi, I'm Steve Stunker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
It's Dwight Goodman! Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Boom! Boom!
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. she'd been drinking. This one, both of them, gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us, and my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
CeeDee Lamb would be higher, but he's not saying it. CeeDee Lamb's not going out and talking. Right?
Yes, Brandon Ayuk is making it very public.
More public than any other one. I mean, we're almost talking about him every day more so than Aaron Rodgers, which is, I mean, this goes back to my whole thing. My parallel on the NBA draft. I mean, whatever he's doing, you're talking about Brandon Ayuk, whether it's good, it's bad. He's getting more Brandon Ayuk run than he ever has in his whole career for what he's done. Well, I think, is there a GM that just says, look at me, the Wizards, Pistons, somebody, and snatches Bronny in the draft before them. That's my whole. Anyway, Brandon Ayuk's contract situation with the Niners. So evidently he met with the 49ers on Monday. On Tuesday, the day after he met with the Niners, he responded to a recent report that the Niners had previously engaged in talks with the Commanders. There was a report out there that they were talking about trading him to Washington. I said Washington because I don't know why. Quote on his Instagram, but I thought the Niners was never trying to trade me. Trying to, Tryna, by the way. All right. What's his point? Help me. What's the point?
He can't handle the business right now. You don't want to be traded. You don't want to be in rumors, but that's something you have to deal with as a professional athlete. And the San Francisco 49ers, they paid Deebo Samuel when he was at this point and talking about holding out and wanting more.
Did they
worked to deal with
McCaffrey
him.
then? Did they already have McCaffrey when they signed Deebo?
It was like right around the same time when Deebo got his extension.
He was their best weapon. At that point, he was one of the most unique, if not the most unique weapon in the NFL.
But
right?
the 49ers have a track record of rewarding their cornerstone players. And it's not ideal to go into the last season of your deal in a sport where it could all go away in an instant. It's professional sports. Things can happen. But you could see the path forward for the 49ers. It's get through this season. There's an out on Deebo. They could use that. Re-sign Brock Purdy. Continue with Brandon Ayuk as a number one. But I think it's getting to the point now where San Francisco is going, you know what? We're going to probably move forward with Deebo. We'll field some calls on you and see what happens.
So you're changing on that. Because you were the other way.
Because if Ayuk is going to just keep doing this over and over and over,
especially in a franchise that doesn't do business. Right? If this was Dallas, you're like, whatever, this is business as usual. Everybody does it this way. The Raiders even. Ayuk wants an extension that's similar to Pierce. Now, who are his peers? Who is he like? Evidently, they were close to getting a deal done earlier this offseason. But then what he considers to be his peers, Justin Jefferson, A.J. Brown, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jalen Waddle, Devontae Smith, Nico Collins, they all signed lofty, hefty, thick extensions. And Ayuk wants something in the ballpark of $30 million. He's currently scheduled to make $14.1 million this season. It's a fifth-year option. Projected market value, I don't even know what that means sometimes, but there's metrics out there. But Sport Track does these. Has him $26.5 million. He wants north of 30. Like, I know we're playing games with money, but I guess when you're talking $4 million on someone's cap, that means another linebacker, doesn't it? If you're San Francisco.
Yeah, and I think with San Francisco at this point, Brandon Ayuk is not a $30+ million receiver to them. And they look at what they've been able to do offensively. They trust Kyle Shanahan. Brock Purdy is going to get paid, and they feel that they can move forward in the next couple seasons still having Christian McCaffrey, Deebo Samuel, George Kittle. Hopefully they hit on the first round pick, Ricky Pearsall from Florida, and believe in that offense without, putting Brandon Ayuk in the top 3 or 4 at the wide receiver category, because this is still a team that, when you look at what they need to do over the next couple of years, like they're going to have a big hole at left tackle. So they have some defensive players outside of Bosa, who's already getting paid the highest contract outside of a quarterback on a yearly basis. Like, something's got to give. And at this point in time, I think they're going to start going, all right, Brandon, you're going to be the dude on the outside.
Who blinks? I mean, if they're coming in and saying, look, we'll give you $25 million, that's a lot of money. He comes in at 26 and takes his money. He's not walking away from it, is he? He can be bitter. He can be cranky all he wants. I think he's the guy who blinks. And if you blink because you're going to get $26 million a year, I mean, that's pretty good eye drops to help you blink. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's where I look at it. But that's the latest there on your high profile, I don't know, wide receiver drama. 505-246-0610. Buffalo Bills. I want to get into them a little bit. Where are they? We're talking about windows and when does things close, and they got another one last run in this guy, or do they? Because the Bills are a team that I think a lot of people are dissenting on, leaving. Why you shouldn't quit the Bills. Next on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This report brought to you by Quality by De Lorenzo.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Try this shit better than all my intentions. Locked in shorty, you got my attention. See your baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, ripped, plastered, taint, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride barbecue chicken and ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
we would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Light skin shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in Burkia. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you.
I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready!
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
M6 These Sports Animal is working with Lobo Athletics, collecting items for the victims of the fires down in Ruidoso in Lincoln County. 9 to 11 today and 4 to 6 today out at the Stadium West parking lot at University Stadium. You can bring by donations, toiletries and water and toilet paper and soaps and shampoos and things that you would you need to get through. People just need to get through. And if you can help, we say thank you. And get out to University Stadium. It's on Avenida Cesar Chavez and University. You'll see UNM Athletics out there along with the Cumulus radio stations. If you can help, we're very, very appreciative. 505-246-0610 if you want to get in today. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck. All right, JJ, a team that a lot of people are kind of pulling off. And I hear all these predictions. It's the Buffalo Bills. Not everybody. But they've lost some pieces. Are they the same? Their best receiver is probably Khalil Shakir. They got Keon Coleman in the draft. James Cook is a good young running back. Their defense got old, right? JJ, do you think the Buffalo Bills are contenders?
Yes.
I do too.
Because they have that next level quarterback.
I think so too. Now, what do they have around him? The Von Miller piece is interesting. Sean McDermott, as you put out here on the list, 35 years old, coming off ACL. According to Coach Sean McDermott, there's still something there. Quote McDermott. First year off an ACL is an uphill climb. Now we're into the second year off the injury. Excited to see what he can do, how he's moving, and how he's going to impact our team. You never count a player or a person like Von Miller out. I know some people would say age and the injury, and that's real. You're talking about a guy also, and this is where the hope comes from, a guy that's going to be in the Hall of Fame. I agree he's going to be in the Hall of Fame. JJ at 35 coming off of that injury, and he wasn't the same dude last year. I don't have the same optimism that Sean McDermott has about Von Miller.
It's a swing and a miss. Von Miller is never living up to the deal he got in Buffalo, but what you have to hope is, can he be a situational player for you this year? Can you get moments out of Von Miller, third down, an impactful play in a game? Because that's what you have to do, because that's who he is now. And for Buffalo, they still have some nice pieces on the defense, but Von Miller, they have to get something. Anything. Like 8 sacks on the season.
Okay.
Like just third down, situational pass rush. That's who he is now. He's not the guy that they brought in that was going to be a difference maker, that was going to change everything, because you said age, injury, and for Buffalo as a whole, that's a positive step forward to get anything out of Von Miller at this point.
Are they good enough defensively?
Yes.
I'm not as convinced as you. I think they'll score. Who wins the AFC East?
Buffalo is still my favorite. Now, are they better than the Jets defensively? No.
They're not better.
But I think that offensively they will be better.
So you believe they're better than the Jets offensively, yes, even though the Jets have all those other weapons. But
the Jets have Garrett Wilson and Breece Hall.
Yeah.
Okay, I think James Cook can be as good.
Okay.
James Cook is going to blow people away at running back this year.
Okay, I don't disagree.
Dalton Kincaid, a very good tight end,
yeah,
and they could develop a wide receiver.
Okay. And they're going to need to develop a wide receiver. They're going to need to, right? And that's where Josh Allen comes in. Josh Allen, this is one of those where your quarterback's got to make people better, right? If your quarterback is that level, which you and I both believe he is, then your quarterback has got to make people better.
And he will. Khalil Shakir outplayed Stephon Diggs,
which was
late
crazy.
last season.
I agree with that. And
Curtis Samuel is a fine
third
receiver in this league. You have Marquez Valdes-Scantling, who will catch 2 passes for 60 yards.
One of them will
make a play.
Yeah.
And Keon Coleman is a first-round talent.
And that's what
that went early second round. Like, I am totally fine with the Bills' offense.
Jets make the playoffs?
I do think they're a wild card team, because when you win 7 games with the mess that they were, I think they're going to be competent offensively with Aaron Rodgers. Still play a high level of defense.
I'm going through this right now. I think it's Buffalo, Baltimore, Houston, and Kansas City, although those are the same teams that won the division last year, right? So they're not all going to be the same, are they? That's what I got.
Those are all the division winners last year. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, if you're asking me who's going to win them again this year, I kind of, it's hard for me to back off any of them.
Because so if you're looking at, all right, the Jets, do they take the Dolphins spot?
Well,
and the Dolphins were 11-6, 6th.
Maybe
the Steelers were 10-7, so that was the final wild card spot last year.
But do you see a big drop off in the Dolphins in the regular season?
A big drop off?
I don't. Not
a big drop off, but they're gonna if you think it's someone's moving up, I think it could be the Steelers that are right there. Then
What about
8-9
Cincinnati?
wins. Well, the Bengals to the Browns are the Jets to the Dolphins. Like there's going to be some type of movement between the two.
Okay. So if you say Buffalo, Baltimore, Houston, Kansas City win their divisions, I'm going to give you another team that we're not really talking about that I think is in the wild card mix that's going to be a lot better this year than they were last year. And that's Jacksonville. And I just think they so horribly underperformed that I think that they come back. Trevor Lawrence just got paid. They figure this thing out. I think they run the ball well. I think Etienne's really good. Christian Kirk is there. I don't know who their next. Oh, they got Gabe Davis, didn't they? He went in to be their number 2.
Well, this is one where you look at Trevor Lawrence.
Yes.
And you believe that, all right, you paid him that salary because Christian Kirk, Gabe Davis, Brian Thomas, first-round wide receiver at LSU, Evan Ingram, and Travis Etienne are more than good enough for a quarterback of his caliber.
We're going to know a lot about them in the first 5 weeks, dude. At Miami, Cleveland, at Buffalo, at Houston, Indianapolis. We're going to know a lot about them in the first 5 weeks.
Well, you mentioned Jackson. I think that entire division is fascinating because I really like the upside for the Tennessee Titans, building around Will Levis.
And I like Will Levis, too. I really do.
The Colts are going to be, I think they're feisty. They're not there yet. Like Anthony Richardson is a dude that fantasy football players are going to fall in love with because he's going to run. He's going to make some big plays. But I just think as trying to compete for the playoffs, I don't think that offense is there yet with Anthony Richardson. So you look at, all right, who moves up, who moves down, because then you're talking about Cincinnati, Jacksonville, the Jets as 3 teams you think are legitimate playoff teams, and then
the Chargers too, right? Or no, you don't believe?
I don't think the Chargers are a playoff team.
Okay,
this year. And then who's moving down? Then I'm looking at Cleveland.
Yep.
Pittsburgh.
So Pittsburgh moves
There's
down?
going to be, yeah.
Yeah, Pittsburgh's right in the mix for 7 again.
I still think they're that same team.
Yeah, I agree with you. They're right in the mix for 7. They always find a way to get there. They always find a way to get there, and Mike Tomlin keeps his gig. And now, if they're in the fight for 7, that means they've got adequate but not great quarterback play, and I think they're the market quarterback.
I do agree with that.
Are on one year contract.
Yeah, I think they played out with those guys. I think they could even get Justin Fields on the cheap just to keep him around a few more years as a backup role.
But they'll be looking for
a quarterback. And so the wild card race in the AFC, because you look at the teams last year that
it was
the Raiders
the Dolphins,
and Broncos are like, how did they win 8 games? And they were like an afterthought.
It was the Dolphins, the Browns, and the
so the Browns were 11-6. They were 5th. Dolphins were the 6th seed at 11-6, and the Steelers were 10-7 in the 7th in the final playoff spot.
Yeah, and I look at the Jaguars. I think they're going to make a run. I really do. Don't forget the Raiders. If they get decent quarterback play, they got a decent roster, man.
They're in that same spot of being there down the stretch. I think that's maybe where the Chargers could be.
Chargers. I'm going to have to see it before.
But it's just they're a team that...
Yeah. And when we come back, let's do the NFC. Who's your 7 playoff teams in the NFC? 505-246-0610 as camps get set to start. We're almost in July. Who's your teams in the NFC as we look ahead to the NFL? It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck on 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Hour.
This report is sponsored by Indeed.com.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange, the latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit HansWhitlerAuto.com.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Everguard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, ripped, plastered, taint, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in boot camp. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you.
I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here. And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay. We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field. 505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space. And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
We give away some tickets here at 9 and 10 to go see A Day to Remember, released anticipated album tour. Up at 9:10, they're playing at Free Ranch Event Center. And before we jump to the NFC, what are you expecting out of Aaron Rodgers? Closer to an MVP kind of a year, closer to a man, he's probably done kind of, or somewhere in the middle.
Somewhere in the middle.
All right. I mean, but if I was going to tell you he was going to have one or the other, which one would you say?
Closer to done.
I think that's right. I think he's close to the middle. He looks good at times, looks okay at other times. He looks like a 40-year-old quarterback. Now, there's going to be times where you go, wow, that's only Aaron Rodgers. There's going to be those moments. But I think that's right. 505-246-0610. Rudy, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hi, Rudy.
Good morning. So one of my pet peeves is people who say they do things for the love of the game. Did you see Schlossnagel's comments when he was asked about the Texas job?
The one he took? No, I didn't.
Yeah, he goes, I took the job at Texas A&M to never take another job again, and that hasn't changed in my mind. That's unfair to talk about something like that, but I understand you've got to ask the question. But I gave up a big part of my life to come take this job. What? You're getting paid $1 million. You haven't left the state of Texas since you were at TCU. I don't know what this guy's talking about, but that guy's always hit me the wrong way. Even when he was at TCU competing against Ray Birmingham, I thought there was something off about Schlossnagel, and he kind of confirmed it with those comments.
Well, for those of you who don't know what he's talking about, Jim Schlossnagel just led Texas A&M. He was the head coach of Texas A&M baseball, and they went to their first College World Series. They went to the championship. They lost the final, and the day after, he announced he was leaving, and not just leaving, but going to their rival. He's going to Texas, and he'll be the head coach. And like, obviously that was going on, so he is the new head coach of Texas.
Yeah, and don't act like you're virtuous because you're getting paid $1 million to coach at A&M, and you're taking the job at Texas, and you know it, and everybody knows it. Just be honest and say, hey, it was a great run at A&M. I'm out of here.
Yeah.
Which brings me to my second point. Do you really think that if Bronny James was named Jalen House, he'd be getting this hype?
Of course.
Yeah, I mean, I actually think Jalen House is a better defender. They keep saying Bronny. He's an elite defender. He's an elite defender. Defending who? I haven't seen Bronny play any appreciable basketball. And if it wasn't LeBron James' son, and I found LeBron's comments kind of disturbing too. Oh, he's going to do this on his own. Right. Come on.
Just like he had no...
We all have eyes and we all have ears.
Just like LeBron had nothing to do with J.J. Redick anymore.
Yeah, I mean, this whole thing has been set up from the beginning, and people are saying, well, somebody might interfere with the Lakers' plans. I doubt it. I think there are other GMs going, yeah, let them waste a draft pick on Bronny. That's better for us. We're competing against that team. So I just don't get that. You know,
yeah, you do. Yes, you do. You absolutely.
Well, it turns me off to the NBA. Come on.
Okay.
This is supposed to be a merit league, and it's supposed to be you make it on your, on your athletic ability.
But everybody who's got an advantage has used it. Look, and I like Richard Pitino a lot, and I know he's earned his way and he's made it on his merit. Did he get a little earlier start because of his name, do you think?
Probably, but we'll see what Bronny does. I just don't think he's ever going to make it in the NBA.
Yeah, I agree with that. And so now he's going to get his start. He's got to go prove it. And like Richard did, right? Richard has proven himself to be a really good, on his own, his name could be Bronny Buck. And he would be a really good college basketball coach. But did he maybe get a little earlier start? That first job that he got over at was it FIU, right? Maybe a little early. Did Steve Alford get, because of who he was, an earlier start at Southwest Missouri State? Yeah, maybe.
Did George Clooney get a break because his mom was Rosemary Clooney? Probably.
Right. But now what are you going to do with it? And that's, so to say you don't get it, I know you get it. You may not like it and appreciate it, but you get it.
Yep. That's probably a better way to say it, Jeff. Have a great day, guys.
See you. Right. I mean, that it's the old thing. Daddy can get you into Harvard, but he can't keep you in Harvard. Right. What are you going to do now?
Depends on how many checks he's sending.
Fair enough. I will get into the NFC. Yeah, and you're welcome to get it on the Bronny James stuff too. Yeah, look, is it right? Is it fair? It ain't nobody ever said life is fair. I just say ain't nobody ever said. My English teacher never told me. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi, I'm Steve Stunker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
Would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit HansWhitlerAuto.com.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Everguard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
5 years running. It's the OD in the AM with 3-time New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Symbieta and JJ Bond.
Come to you on the day the NBA draft will start. It used to be a one-day deal. But Jeff, it's 2 whole rounds. I know. 2 whole rounds, 2 whole days. Round 1 today. Knicks made a big trade yesterday. They acquired Mikal Bridges from the Crossborough, from Brooklyn to Manhattan, from the Nets. Gave up a bunch, 5 first-round picks, another first round, and a second round of a player. They got what they wanted. So we'll watch as trades come in and to go into round 1 of the NBA draft today. Opening drive, Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck will give away some tickets here coming up at about 9:10 to a day to remember, the least anticipated album tour, which is going to be July 9th at the Rio Rancho Events Center out in Rio Rancho, New Mexico. It's out near your hood. How far are you from Rio Rancho? Oh, you're a long way, man. You got to go way.
It's about 25, 30 minutes.
That's all it is. I mean, it's close. You can go out and see a Gladiators game, take the child. He likes that stuff, huh?
Yes, he does.
Yeah, it's good. So, all right, NFC. Kind of went through the AFC a little bit. And asked, who do you like? And what are your NFC? I'll let you go first. Playoff teams, NFC. Who do you got?
Teams I have taking a step back, which opens up an opportunity. I think there will just be one team from the South that makes it. So I'm leaning Falcons win the division. I think that really maybe the Saints or Buccaneers are then nipping at the last wild card spot. So I could see 2 teams there, but I don't see a big drop off. The one you'd look at, and I know you're going to talk about them, so I'll let you have the fun there, is if you're looking at the NFC East, is there a swap? Do the Eagles get back into pole position, thus putting that Big D team in the wild card race? Because there's not a lot of teams that I like right now. I think the Falcons can take a step up with a healthy Kirk Cousins, win that division. Then I look at Tampa Bay, New Orleans still being 8 to 9 win teams. The Packers are going to be a lot better. And I like the Bears, but I don't know if they're ready to be a wild card team. I don't think we're going to see a lot of changes in the NFC playoff picture next season.
Who wins the West?
The West? 49ers.
And I got Philly, Detroit, Atlanta, and the Rams as of now. Wild card, Green Bay, San Francisco. And then a battle between Arizona, Dallas, and Minnesota.
Wait, so you have San Francisco as a wild card?
I did. If the Rams win the West, then yeah.
So you think the Rams?
The Rams may step up and get them.
Woo!
About freaking time, dude. I'm just watching what's going on there. it's a big year for Brock Purdy. I think he's good. I really like him. I watch what's happening. They got the best offensive player of the game in McCaffrey. And they're really good. And that's probably a bad pick. But I may change that by the time we get there. I just changed it today. I'd always had San Francisco. I just kind of looked at it. I'm like, I just need something different than what JJ is going to say. So I picked something different. I like Arizona as a surprise team, although their schedule's really tough. Dallas, obviously, then would be competing for a wild card. Minnesota intrigues me a lot. And I'm going to tell you, 2 years ago, they were the number 2 seed. They upgraded. Well, I don't know if they upgraded. We'll see. They changed their quarterback position. I don't know if they upgraded from what they were at the end of last year. And I believe in what that young head coach is doing up there. I look at a full roster. I wonder about their defense. And then Tampa Bay probably should be in there as well, because I think we all underestimate Tampa Bay. Just think, well, whatever. They just won a bad division. Todd Bowles did a hell of a job last year. Baker Mayfield played really well. Baker Mayfield, I think, is right in the middle of NFL quarterbacks, right? Right in the median. What is he? What is he? Not great. He's not horrible. He gets the job done. He got him to the playoffs. They probably should be in there as well. I don't like. If you ask me who's the worst team in the NFC, I don't even know who I think it is.
You know who it is.
Oh yeah, it's Carolina. But after that, right? Because everybody's kind of in that same little boat. The NFC North, to your point, the Bears should be a lot better. They upgraded. They put a lot of resources into what they put a lot into it.
I think they'll be flirting with a wild card. If it's 9, they'll be right there. Talking about wins.
Yep.
That was the package. 9 and 8.
I'd take the under on the Bears winning 9. Yeah. I would go under on that. I think 7.
To match what they did last year.
Yeah. Just because I think the rest of that division got better. I think everybody in that division got better. Everybody in that. And the Lions were already good. Green Bay's getting better. They're all so young in their development. I think Minnesota got better. Don't you think?
I don't think Minnesota got better.
So you don't buy into Minnesota?
Well, what you said. Better than what they finished with last year. They were a 7-win football team last year. This is one where there's not a good read. I think it is possible for Sam Darnold to be the starting quarterback. They take a little bit longer approach with J.J. McCarthy. So I think that has them in that same mix with Chicago.
Okay. I think that's right.
Yes,
yeah,
right there.
Yeah, they're in the same boat. Yeah. All right. Who's your surprise team? Do you have one? Is it the Bears? Because I like Arizona.
Mine would be Washington.
It's good. I like that a lot too.
What has really impressed me about what some of these teams have done with young quarterbacks is go in on what you have to do. And in Chicago, you know what? If we're going to do this again with the young quarterback, let's put an offense around him. And then what Washington does, they do have a legit number 1, Terry McLaurin. I like Johan Dotson as a number 2. Eckler Robinson, I think, is a quality backfield for a young quarterback. And, Jaden Daniels, while he might not be as polished a passer as a CJ Stroud coming in and what he's able to do in Houston, I think he can make that offense exciting and at least jump the Giants.
Okay, I'm down with that. Yeah. All right, 505-246-0610. Come on in with your thoughts. Who's your surprise team? As you go through the NFL now, like surprise team is a team that is it somebody coming out of nowhere, and I guess Jacksonville could be that if you want it to be. Or a team that, how about this? Just a team that didn't make the playoffs last year that is going to make the jump. Everybody would probably say Cincinnati at that point. Well, Joe Burrow will be healthy.
Yeah, you can go to the court, Cincinnati, Atlanta.
Atlanta's interesting because the division, I think Atlanta probably should win that. But I got Arizona. I like Jacksonville. Are you on the Chargers? Who's buying into the Chargers? You've got
no one.
Harbaugh there. You got supposedly one of the best quarterbacks in the league. I mean, it's kind of time, isn't it? Well, Harbaugh just got there. I know, but Herbert's been there a while. It's kind of time, isn't it?
It's not.
No,
they're not firing Harbaugh. They're not trading Herbert.
All right. You're probably right, but
it's kind of time for everyone in that league.
Fair enough.
This is one where I think that people, when it comes to the Chargers, a lot more people would be selling, but it's hold. Because what has Jim Harbaugh done? He goes places and wins.
Everywhere.
And he's done it in the NFL.
Everywhere. Yep.
And I think the Chargers are not ready to be a true contender, but I'm watching that team. That, Herbert got hurt last year, but they had, I think it was, I just had the stat last week. We were talking about it. I know it was at least 4 games. They lost by 3 points or less. So I think they'll be flirting with that wild card number late in the season.
All right, it is time to give away these tickets. Got 2 tickets to A Day to Remember. It's the least anticipated album tour. It's going to be July 9th at the Rio Rancho Event Center. You can buy tickets at their website, Rio Rancho Event Center. But we'll give them away to caller number 4 right now. The number is 505-246-0610. 505-246. Caller number 4 wins those tickets. 95.9 FM and AM 10.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, ripped, plastered, taint, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in boot camp. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you.
I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Light skin shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
All right, you can get in. Who do you got? Who are your 7 playoff teams in each conference? I know it's early. I know camps haven't started, but you're starting to look at your fantasy football. I know drafts are coming up in a month. About a month from now or the end of July. Maybe a month. JJ's already doing his fantasy podcast. Pump your podcast.
Three Dudes Fantasy Football Show. You can find us on YouTube, on the Instagram.
Who are these 3 dudes?
3 Dudes, my good friends Steve Master and Aaron Hernandez.
You know what they're talking about?
We do.
Aaron Hernandez. Wait, he's famous.
Yes, the other.
Oh, different dude?
Aaron Hernandez. So we've been buddies since high school. We've been in a fantasy football league forever. And last year, my buddy came to me and was like, man, I'm interested in this. Can you help me get this going? And we've been doing it ever since.
3 Dudes Fantasy. What is it?
3 Dudes Fantasy Football Show.
We'll find it on wherever you get your podcast.
Keep it simple.
Keep it simple. Is that the key?
Yes.
Dude, I don't even know how to do it anymore. I had the best team I've ever had. All right, 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610 if you still pay a toll. I don't know why you would be paying tolls at this point, but if you do, we'll pick it up. Emails, Jeff@sportsanimalabq.com, JJ@sportsanimalabq.com. I don't know if you saw this. A Mariners AA infielder, a guy named Hogan Windish, hit 4 home runs and drove in 9 runs last night. Playing AA baseball for the Arkansas Travelers. Kind of a perfect game, right? 4 for 4. Homered 4 times. Walked once, drove in 9. That's a day, dude. Like you may not make it anywhere, but Homer Windish became a stinking Travelers legend in Arkansas. I don't care what level you're playing at. Get a grand slam to kick off the 3rd inning and just run your personal home run derby in a pro baseball game. The hell of a day. I don't care what level.
It's going to be at Home Run Derby X?
No, I don't know if he's invited. By the way, you can be invited if you want. They're doing a tryout. See that? For the Home Run Derby X, it's coming to Isotopes Park. So local sluggers, if you think you can hit it out of the yard, you can get in. Local participants can now qualify for a shot to swing at some of the best. They're calling them legends of the game. So I think you know this. August 23rd, Isotopes and Major League Baseball are bringing this Home Run Derby X to Isotopes Park. And so it's guys like Manny Ramirez, Ian Desmond, Johnny Gomes, Andrea Howard, Jocelyn Alo will be there. So it's you need to be able to hit a ball 300 feet. You can go online. It's MILB.com/Albuquerque/events/home run derby home-run-derby. If you go to the Isotopes website,
just click a link.
Find a link and you'll get in there. Semifinalists are selected by Major League Baseball and the Isotopes. You'll be contacted by July. And there are mandatory on-field tryouts. Those will be July 14th. You got to bring your own bats, your own gloves. Men are required to use wood bats. Women can use wood or metal. This is a 3-on-3 competition. I'm excited to see it. I don't know. I was asked yesterday, JJ, and I don't even know how to answer this question. Is this a big deal? And I know it's a big deal for the Isotopes, and they're making it a big deal. And
it's
there's only
new
4 of them.
Deal.
It's a new. That's a good way to put it. It's a new deal that could be.
It's something they're trying. It started overseas. Just get the game of baseball out there, have some fun. They're sprinkling it around minor league parks this year.
I guess when you roll Manny Ramirez into town, it's kind of a big deal, right?
Yeah, it's legends. It's just it's the Savannah Bananas type of deal. Just to have fun around the sport of baseball.
I guess that's right. Are you looking forward to this?
I am.
You gonna go out? You gonna bring your kid?
That's the plan.
That's something that he might really enjoy, right? Just balls flying out of the yard. And it's going to be a different configuration, so they're going to hit from right around third base. And the home run zone is basically from that center field wall over to the right field foul pole. So they're basically going to be hitting bombs onto the berm. And then there's like an orange bonus ball. Did you get your orange baseball?
Yes.
If you bounced it, it's like a Super Bowl.
It is.
You're telling me, oh no, it's the same. It's just orange. It's
corked for sure.
100%, right? I got one in the office and I was like bouncing it. It doesn't bounce like a regular.
I expect them to send a couple of these out of the ballpark,
like up over the berm, like clear, like that one's in Berlin. Like we get Chris Berman out here. Oh, that's going to Rudoso.
It is, it's a totally different competition. It's like people are like, wait a second, yeah, there's a the way they set it up at Isotopes Park, third base line is where they'll be hitting from. And then they have just that, as you said, that area to hit it to. So it's not just hit it wherever. No, you hit it that way specifically.
What are the best seats? You want to be behind third base over there, so like you're close to the where these guys
that would
are?
be good. Because I know it's going to be the berm. You got to be ready.
Yeah, it's like a missile range out there.
Yeah, if you have your kids out there and everyone's gonna be like, oh, let's just run around on the berm. No, they're going to get destroyed if you're not paying attention.
It's a really good point. Typically, if you go out on the berm, we're just here to hang out. Let the kids
be like, oh, let's have some drinks, have some fun. Whap, whap.
Yeah. Incoming. Heads up, 4. Yeah.
Like, it's going to be fun, but there's going to be some folks that get destroyed because they won't be paying attention.
I hope that's not true. Potentially, there are folks who could get destroyed. All right, if you want to be in this, though, and you think you can hit the ball, you want to go out there with Manny Ramirez and Johnny Gomes and these guys, you can qualify for your shot. So go online, go to the Isotopes website, and click through it and find the Home Run Derby X thing. And let them know why you think you should be able to participate in this. And if your answer is, dude, I could pick kids off on it. I'll call my shot. All right, the little redheaded kid right over there.
Whap.
Bring
the glove. You ready?
Seriously. Seriously. All right, 505-246-0610. That's how to get here. 505-246-0610. Emails Jeff at sportsanimалabq.com and JJ at sportsanimалabq.com. Since we're on the baseball, Dodgers shut down Clayton Kershaw. They were calling it lingering soreness in the shoulder. He had shoulder surgery last offseason. He has made just one rehab start. JJ was pitching for Rancho Cucamonga, I believe is where it was, in the California. And according to the Orange County Register, he won't throw again for at least a week. No new incidents. Clayton Kershaw, they're trying to get him back. Dodgers there's no need to rush him. They had a lot of injuries. Walker Buehler started the year on the injured list. Bobby Miller was on it for a while. Kershaw, Dustin May, Tony Gonsolin, all been on the IL all year. And the stud from Japan, Yoshinobu Yamamoto, is on the IL too. And yet they're 48 and 31. Actually 49 and 30. 8.5 games clear. Do you think we see Clayton Kershaw back effective? I think he gets back to the big leagues. Do you think he's an effective big league pitcher?
Yes, because I think what you're going to see is if Kershaw can get healthy, be that in an opener or even part of a piggyback role for this team, especially late in the season.
Go out, give me 5 minutes.
No, not even that.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, 5's asking way too much.
Well, where he's at right now, yeah.
Well, I mean, he can't throw an inning now.
3,
You bring
4
him out-
innings if he's feeling good.
He'll bring him out of the bullpen?
Yeah, I think even a postseason scenario.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Like, give me the guy, go out and
Yep.
be my 8th inning guy. No?
But it could be, but I think that the Dodgers bullpen has good late inning options.
They do.
But it'd be more of, are you running a 3-4 man rotation in the postseason? Is it, like I said, a piggyback day? Can he be the guy that gets you, the 5th, 6th inning, and then go to the bullpen arm? So I think there is a role for Clayton Kershaw on this team if he can get healthy this year.
Yeah, I guess who the starters are. All right, when we come back, one of the biggest names in the NBA rumor mill in free agency. There's been a lot of places where Paul George might go. There's a little bit of an indication in a report this morning where he won't go. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal. 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal, and Lobo Athletic.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
These days, it's important to know people and businesses you can trust. There's a lot of places where you can buy a vehicle, but there's only a few local dealerships where you'll find honest people who have your best interests in mind. And Fiesta Kia is one of them. We've been helping our neighbors save money and drive dependable cars for years, and we'd love to help you. With new Kias arriving daily, you'll love our selection and the peace of mind you'll get driving a Kia from Fiesta. So stop by and see us today at Fiesta Kia on Lomas, or just start driving now at fiestakia.com.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in boot camp. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you. I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi, I'm Steve Stunker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Cross-Camara here. And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay. We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field. 505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space. And you can be part of it.
You make my heart better. Show that shit better than all my intentions. Locked in, show that you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready.
My coach. My teacher. My older sisters. My grandma. My brother. My tutor. My dad and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
Free agency. It's going to be interesting in the NBA. Well, it can be if the right guys opt in. Paul George is one of the biggest names in the NBA rumor mill during the offseason. He's 34 years old. He's with the Clippers. He's got his own option. He's looking at a long-term deal, or at least he wants one. He's played the last 5 seasons with the Clippers. He's been a rumored target, possibly for the Sixers. For the Knicks. JJ, I don't think they stand a chance because, according to Sports Illustrated's Stephen Douglas this morning, Paul George has a desire to stay on the West Coast. You recall Paul George grew up in California, played basketball collegiately at Fresno State. Now, the Knicks kind of feel like they pulled themselves out of this whole thing when they got Mikal Bridges yesterday, right? Kind of trade package that you would imagine that would work for somebody like Paul George, all those draft picks that they sent to the Knicks. They went the other way. And the thought is Paul George doesn't want to play in New York or on the East Coast. That's what Brian Windhorst said in this morning's Hoop Collect. Quote from Windy. I'm not so sure Paul George really wanted to leave the West Coast. I think that was something Philadelphia kind of ran into when they kicked the tires there. End quote. So who does that put into play? Kind of puts Golden State into play, doesn't it? If Golden State decides they're not going to re-sign Klay Thompson, and they very well may decide that, I think Golden State's really, really in play, and that makes things super interesting.
Then it comes back to what are the Clippers willing to take on? Because I do not believe that the Warriors could just outright sign Paul George as free agent. Do they have that?
I don't know that they've got that space either.
So then you'd have to have Paul George opt into his player option or agree to a contract extension. Then, so you have a sign and trade deal to acquire him.
And that's probably right. And then the Clippers would get pieces back that would be really interesting pieces, don't you think?
And this is where the salary of Chris Paul comes into play.
So that's why you would re-sign Chris Paul and send him back to the Clippers. And the Clippers would want that?
If it's just a year.
Dude, Chris Paul's got, he's got it made.
Yeah.
The people just keep giving him $30 million a year and didn't have to do anything. All right, I'll do it I get another $30 million? All right, I'll play another year. I'll ride the bench for another year. I'll travel around the country for another year. I'll do Allstate commercials for another year. Like a good neighbor. It's State Farm. It's not Allstate. Sorry. I don't want to, I'm very sponsor sensitive.
Yeah. It is important. But these are, when you ask the questions of how can this player be moved, this or that, it's for situations like this. And expiring deals or 1-year deals, trying to match salaries.
But if I'm doing this and I'm the Clippers, why do I want that instead of give me something that can help me? I still, for the life of me, don't get it. All right, so
because
great.
There's not something that can match salary-wise that helps you if you're getting a player from the Warriors. Kuminga doesn't make that money. Moody doesn't make that money. Wiggins? No, I would rather take on 1 year of Chris Paul for $30 million than what's left on Andrew Wiggins' deal.
What is left? Wiggins is $24.3 million. Boy, what a disparity on that roster. They got a few guys that are, Steph's making 51, Draymond at 22, Chris Paul at 30, and Klay at 43, and Wiggins at 24, and the rest of them are under 75 million or 7.5 million. Yeah. Okay. So if you are the Clippers, what's in it for you then? Like, let him just go.
You can't just let him just go.
Why? Why?
Well, you can just let him go.
Yeah, why?
But I think what's in it for you
Yes.
is there'd be some other assets, like just picks down the line. We talk about
All right, so I'm getting some
acquiring
picks.
things.
All right. So I'm getting some picks.
Making a move.
I got to eat Chris Paul for you.
It's a year.
Yeah.
And that's huge to have an expiring contract and have that flexibility, because they've already kind of made it known that I think what they're going to pivot to is Kawhi Leonard, James Harden.
What's he making?
Because Harden is
Harden's
a
up
free
too,
agent.
right? Yeah.
And I think they would have, if Paul George and the Clippers wanted to come together, they would have figured this out by now.
So is Harden going to make another one of these crazy I mean, he's kind of done too, isn't he? Being James Harden, what's he going to make? 40? He's been 35.6 last year. Is he getting $45 million a year too? Is that what he? Is that who he is now? It's kind of crazy to me. But I
Because
know
Harden was good as part of this trio last year.
until it really mattered.
Until it really mattered, Kawhi Leonard wasn't there.
Well, Kawhi Leonard's another story. You know where I am on that. I love me some Kawhi Leonard, but he's got to show. He's just got to. He's got to be healthy. I feel bad for him. I don't know if his body's breaking down. I don't know. Feels like Steven Strasburg, except for he won 2 times. Strasburg won. That's going to be Kawhi's thing forever. You know, I don't know what it's going to be remembered more for. It's probably for the injuries, because that's the latter part of his career. If Kawhi retired today, what would Kawhi Leonard's legacy be? Would it be that he won 2 championships with 2 different organizations with the Spurs and then went up? I mean, Toronto's never won anything.
Yeah, that was a wild year.
And he was the key. And, if Embiid shot, he hit the wild, crazy shot out of the corner. He was MVP of the finals, and the Toronto Raptors won the NBA championship behind Kawhi Leonard. And he was MVP of the finals when the Spurs won. Or is he going to be remembered as the guy that just made a bunch of money and could never towards the end?
When you win multiple championships, that's what you'll be remembered.
You should be, right? He's only 32 years old. If he leaves today, Hall of Fame? Because he won those 2?
Well, there was also a time in his career when you look at the defensive prowess, the defensive awards that he won. Like, there was a conversation. It was LeBron James, Kawhi Leonard, and Kevin Durant.
Best players
We're
in the
talking
world.
about best players in the NBA.
Yeah, he was in the conversation, but best player in the world. He was the best defender in the game, correct?
Yes, he was.
For a decent minute. So if he's done right now, you believe, and I do too, that he's in the Hall of Fame. Now, it depends I don't even know who Clipper fan is. I mean, other than Billy Crystal, is there a Clipper fan? But if you're a Clipper fan, you're going to go, I don't even know who that guy is. I don't even know this guy you're talking about. I mean, I just remember a guy who just could never play when it mattered. Okay. But if you're a Raptor fan, even if you're a Spur fan, you're a basketball fan, you're a Cleveland Cavalier fan, you remember that dude. You remember a 6'7" guy who was freakishly good defensively, and by the way, became a really good offensive player when he got to the NBA, because at San Diego State, he was offensively challenged. 15th overall pick by Indiana, never played for Indiana, got traded to San Antonio. So what do you think then happens, going back to the premise of this whole Paul George? According to Windhorse, Golden State's looking to acquire maybe Paul George. Chris Paul didn't get it done. He said, you wonder, this is interesting. He says, you wonder if the Portland Trail Blazers or Phoenix Suns qualify as West Coast, don't they? Certainly Portland's West Coast. Do the Clippers have options besides the Lakers, who Paul George previously avoided for whatever reason? Sacramento, are they in the mix? Do they want to be in the mix? going to be tough for George and the Clippers to both get what they want. One of them is going to get what they want. One of them is going to sit around. And I think Paul George will get what he wants. The Clippers aren't. But if he wants to go West Coast, Sacramento's really interesting. That's a sneaky good roster that nobody's talking about because they didn't do anything lately. But I mean, a sneaky good team that
took a step back last year.
Yeah, they did. You expect them to come back, don't you? Paul George there is interesting. I mean, look, Paul George, the Lakers.
Paul George everywhere. Like, he is a difference maker. Paul George has been really good the last few years.
Yeah. Yeah. But it won't be the Clippers, I don't think.
Is it? If they wanted to continue down this path, they would have had that figured out by now.
I think you're right. Is there a difference maker in the draft right now? Like, Wemby was a difference maker. Is there a guy in the draft right now that we're going to watch go today that is going to make a difference and get a team into the playoffs next year?
No. Wemby won 17 games.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Was there one last year? Who was the best rookie? Wemby was the best rookie last year. Who was the next best rookie after Chet Holmgren? There was Wembanyama. Chet Holmgren was second.
Brandon Miller was okay.
Who was it?
Brandon Miller, the kid from Alabama, to Charlotte.
Okay, he didn't make a difference, though.
No, none of these guys will.
And last year was considered
even in a
good
superstar draft.
Yeah, last year was considered a good draft. I'm telling you, in this, I'm gonna circle this way. So, what you just illustrated, and you're right, and I'm right on this. In the NBA, it takes a long time, a couple of years, for guys to become impactful, right? And we're ripping on Caitlin.
Even the really good ones.
Yeah, and we're ripping on Caitlin Clark. Do you realize what Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese are doing?
Well, I think a lot of that, too, is just it's easy to scream about women's sports when you don't care about them.
And you don't know about them. Yeah, and you don't know about them.
Like, oh, I thought this person was supposed to be the best ever. Look at this.
And she's pretty damn good, putting up really, really freaky good numbers as a rookie in a league where rookies... Look,
dude, they're 19, 20-year-olds that are coming in.
Yeah, and I think Clark and Angel Reese are like 21, but whatever. Yeah.
I mean, in the draft process.
Oh, yeah. Okay. In the NBA.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark's the 14th leading scorer in that league, and as a rookie, and putting up 16.3 points per game. And I just offer that to you as perspective. Look how long it takes. Like, Connor McDavid. Well, he's been in the league 8 years and he hasn't won a championship. How great can it be? How long did it take LeBron, dude? How long do you think it took Michael freaking Jordan? Magic won his first.
There's outliers.
There always are outliers.
LeBron's an outlier.
Okay. But it still took a minute.
Yeah, but he took Zydrunas Ilgauskas to the NBA Finals in 2006.
Yeah. And he was an impact player right away. Magic.
Like, those are the Magic Johnson.
But that was 1980.
Yeah.
1980.
Usually, even when you get a guy, you're like, wow, look at the Celtics.
Yeah. Yeah. And so, well, Jeff, it's a different league, but it's still pro basketball. And so, well, I mean, how Caitlin Clark, their team's not, well, the team was garbage to begin with. That's why they got her. That's why they got the first round pick last year too. Wow, I mean, Jeff, she's not even, Kelsey Mitchell's leading the scorer on her team. Oh, okay. A little perspective. But just because you don't know about something doesn't mean it's garbage. It's a professional basketball league, and there's good players in there too. But it takes a minute. 505-246-0610. Wrap you up everything you got to know as you go through your whatever day today. Wednesday. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Hour.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is Pro View. From pros to prep. All your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Try this shit better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
Hey, look, it's Dwight Goodman. Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Boom. Boom.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
These days, it's important to know people and businesses you can trust. There's a lot of places where you can buy a vehicle, but there's only a few local dealerships where you'll find honest people who have your best interests in mind. And Fiesta Kia is one of them. We've been helping our neighbors save money and drive dependable cars for years, and we'd love to help you. With new Kias arriving daily, you'll love our selection and the peace of mind you'll get driving a Kia from Fiesta. So stop by and see us today at Fiesta Kia on Lomas, or just start driving now at fiestakia.com.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
French strong forward. Most of the projections have going first. And then Alex Sarr from France going second. That would be to the Wizards. And then things kind of mix up where, you know, who's going to get who, and you got a bunch of different opinions. Bronny James probably doesn't go tonight, probably goes tomorrow. 55 to the Lakers is everybody's pick. That's the consensus. What else? Topes are in first place. They were winners last night, beat the Bees. They'll do it again today. You get day baseball today, right?
12:05 first pitch.
Day baseball out at the ball yard. And you can go watch your first place ice. Mets beat the Yankees 9-7 yesterday. And so that's what's going on. That's what people are going to be talking about as you go through your day. Want to remind you again that the Sports Animal and UNM Athletics will be out at the University Stadium parking lot today, 9 to 11, so that's right now. And then 4 to 6, accepting donations for Ruidoso Fire Relief. This is for the victims of the fires in Ruidoso, or is it Ruidoso, and Lincoln County. And whatever you can do, toiletries, toilet paper, paper towels, shampoos, soaps, you know this stuff. Whatever you can do, come on, drop it off. And Global Athletics is doing this, and we're partnering up with them. And if you can help, we appreciate you doing that, and thank you for doing that. It means a lot, obviously, to the people who are out there and need this stuff. Bourne wants to know, Jeff, how long before we hear on the broadcast, well, the season ended today, the Ice Dogs would be in the district tournament? A little while. Yeah, a little while. Once you get down to magic number. Yeah, it won't be soon. But they just went from last place to the worst first half they've ever had to being in first place, because that's the beauty of the Pacific Coast League in minor league baseball, and you get started. All right, so what do you got today? You got you going to the gym, or you going to watch the draft? What do you do tonight?
Tonight, it's birthday dinner. The wife's birthday. So
is it?
Very big day.
All right. She likes. I think I know what her cocktail is. Happy birthday to Tilly. Please give her our best.
Will do.
Big dinner. Austin, get her a gift and everything.
Yes.
He knows it's mommy's birthday.
Yes, he does.
Oh.
Knows that for sure.
I'll bet mommy let him know, huh?
You know what tomorrow is? Your birthday.
Your birthday. Yeah, we get it, mommy. All right. Well, happy birthday on June 26th is Tilly's birthday. So that's a big day. There's no damn draft for you. Coming in tomorrow?
Oh, yeah.
All right. You know what? Take Friday off.
I just might.
You know, I mean,
appreciate that.
It's your wife's birthday. And all right, this just in. An era has come to an end. Alex Morgan is not on the USA Olympic women's soccer team.
Did they put Caitlin Clark on the team instead?
Yeah, in fact, that's what they just did. See, I was just going to tell you. Caitlin Clark has taken Alex Morgan's spot on the soccer team. If she can't get on the damn basketball team, they're getting her in one.
They're sending her to Paris somehow.
USA soccer is brilliant. They're brilliant. They're capitalizing on Caitlin Clark.
Clark's going to be filling in at every random event.
Damn right. She's on the gymnastics team. She's going to swim, and she's going to power line. That's right. She's just not going to run the
pole
sprint.
vault. Let's go.
She's been left off the USA women's national team. So this is the first major tournament for Team USA without Alex Morgan since the 2008 Olympics. They got an 18-player roster. She'll be 35 next week. She's not one of those players. She's got 224 caps. That means games in which she's played. What does caps stand for?
Appearances.
What's the C?
You've been capped by your country. It's just a word they use for appearances.
All right, I get the apps, but what's the C? Like just.
What do you mean?
Well, CAPS. I see appearances. But
they call it cap.
I know what they call it. Why do they call it?
You've been capped by your country.
Like they put a hat on you?
That's just the way I think about it. It's not official.
Okay, yeah, I've always wondered. I mean, I know what it means. I've always wondered what the origin of it. Okay. Anyway, in her 224 caps, she's scored 123 goals. Both of those numbers are the most among active U.S. players in 9th and 5th, respectively. Her quote, making an Olympic roster is a huge privilege and an honor. There is no denying that it was an extremely competitive process. Oh, this is the coach. Among the players, and that there were difficult choices, especially considering how hard everyone has worked over the past 10 years. All right. Well, that's kind of a different thing. I mean, I can't believe they left Caitlin Clark off this roster. Travesty. How dumb are... I mean, how
who's going to score? Who's going to watch now?
Nobody's going to watch because Caitlin Clark's not on the panel. Do you want to know who's on it? Does it matter? I mean, are the names going to matter? I should get a roster. Here we go. I mean, Do the names be goalies are Casey Murphy and Alyssa Nair? Defenders, Tierna Davidson, Emily Fox, Neoma Gurma, Casey Kruger, Jenna Nigswanger. Is that right? Nigswanger? I don't know her. Emily Sonnet. Just because I don't know her doesn't mean she's not good. I'm sure she's really good. All right. You got a lot of names on here. There's 18 of them. I'm not going to read them all to you. You can find them when you want them. But one of them is not Alex Morgan. Travesty. Maybe her and Caitlin Clark could sit around and get bitter together. And what? Actually, everybody else is bitter. I haven't heard Caitlin Clark be bitter once about it. Have you?
No.
By the way, I watched Argentina beat Chile 1-0 yesterday in Copa America. We watched it in Spanish. It just seems, I don't know, a little bit more fun in Spanish. We watched it.
I understand that.
It just felt more real. I don't know why. It wasn't some guy with a British accent speaking soccer at me like every single soccer broadcast in America. Am I wrong on that?
No. Speaking of do a shameless plug here.
Yeah, do one.
Former U.S. women's national team coach did say that the best college soccer broadcast she watched was the Lobos.
Was yours?
Yes.
Right on.
We'll say that.
Yours is really good, dude.
Connection to U.S. soccer and
I love
broadcasting.
That. Did you get your job?
No.
Why not? I mean, if they're going to leave you home, this is ridiculous. I'm not watching the Olympics. If you're not calling the, how can they leave you off the roster? Ridiculous. Watch this mess. All right. What else? Do I get more soccer today? When's Team USA play again in Copa America?
Tomorrow night.
That's tomorrow against the debate?
Oh, I know.
Who the hell's going to watch it? I got Biden and Trump going at each other. You want me to watch USA soccer? Who are they playing?
I can't wait until Friday morning.
Why?
Because the place you go for presidential debate breakdown will be the opening drive Friday morning, 7 a.m.
Probably not. Jerome Show is next for a few minutes.
I bet the biggest talking point you get, emails, text, will be
well,
there.
Who's going to be in on Friday if you take it off?
Bring in your favorite political commentator.
All right, I will. I'm going to call George and see if he wants. Jim Rome Show is next. Isotopes Baseball versus the Bees, and you get some Colin Cowherd after that. 2 men on at 4. We're back tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. with award-winning radio. Adrian, great work. Big day for you.
Huge day.
Happy birthday to Tilly. Enjoy it. Be good to each other, please. Be kind, loving, caring, and sharing, and we will smell you tomorrow.
When you're
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here. And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay. We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field. 505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space. And you can be part of it.
You make my heart better. Try this shit better than all my intentions. Like being sure that you got my attention. See your baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
A burglary takes place in the United States approximately every 15 seconds. International Protective Service is your answer for commercial and residential security in all of Albuquerque. IPS will work with your monitoring company for fast, reliable response times. You can rest easy knowing you, your family, or your company is watched over by International Protective Service. Call International Protective Service today.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, ripped, plastered, taint, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.